Hi everyone. So I have a fun little project here. So it's a spiky mess. I thought I'd share it with you. I made some tools to fit into these spiky Scottish thistles. I made this one, which is just a teardrop, but it's super long. It's really narrow. So my old teardrop, he was just a bit too broad, too soon. There's also a difference in angle. You can see how aggressive this one is toward the point. This one I left flat. I also rounded off the corner a lot. That's just made out of some hardy square stock from a garage door spring. It still has its temper colors on there, so I was looking for a purple or just a purple brown, somewhere in there. I really have liked this shape, and here's why. I'm coming in each one of these little angles here, and I could just start working on that tip first. So I can actually angle it, favor on the tip, and then I can rock the tool back, smoothing out those shapes, because it's such a mess that I have to sort of, I mean, I only have two hands. I'd have to take it one at a time anyways, but this really lets me slow down and make sure that my overlaps are all in the right place. Because these layers, they build up, our furthest layer. What's underneath all of these things are way out on the outside, and then we get to slowly build toward the center. And so I just thought I'd share this with you real fast. I put in some ink, some blue ink just in here, so it was a little slightly higher contrast. And that's it's just a quick trick that I do on other things to make them more visible for a camera. And I've already done it to this one that I've finished here. So if we take our corner and the extra long slope across the side here, I'm using the back half to actually angle in on this old line, and I can bring it into that corner. I'm starting kind of on the back half, and I'm rolling into that sharper point. And then I could do the other side. Now, because that back end is so rounded, I feel pretty comfortable rolling it back and forth because I don't really feel like it's going to leave any hard checkered marks or anything. Then once I feel a little bit more confident, I come in on the depth and just favor that tip. So in each one of these little spikes, I end up working one side before I flip to the other side. And that gives me a little bit more of a rounded shape. The other way I use this is because of its tier shape. I can actually flip it and use the rounded end against one of those depths. And I can come back and planish this top toward the point. I'm sort of relying on the biggest center point. I'm not really letting the tip dive down whatsoever. And as I come through and clean up these shapes, what that means is in anywhere in this kind of chaotic mess, I can essentially feel pretty confident, rocking this forward, knowing that my tool isn't the wrong shape. Because when it is, the corners or the edges, they end up, creating undesired markings on an almost, finished shape itself. So I just wanted to share that because I made this real quick and I was like, you know what? Now that I'm a couple hours in, I should just stop and I should share this. So I'm just gonna do one more real fast, see how it picks up on camera, just to make sure that we have a few extra. And I'll do this one right here. I'm just like, before I started on the edges and I kind of managed my corners, and I'll do that sometimes if I feel like the depth is uneven. But this one looks not too bad. So I'm just gonna start in the back and I'm gonna start with the depth on that corner. And then once that's deep enough, I'm actually going to favor either the left or right side. And I'm going to follow that curve. The back half. There we go. Let's do one more, just to see what the depth is like. The depth of field here. Which one looks nice? This is a big friendly one. Let's do this one. Now, if I feel like some of those markings out in this corner, if I feel like they are a little off or, something's not right, you can always come back with a liner and just kind of touch up those sides if you really need to. I'm going to wait to do that until I'm a little bit further along in some of these other shapes, because odds are is when I go and shape this spike above this one, I'm going to come in and planish out that corner, which will give me a second to erase all of that. So there's no point stopping and making that any cleaner than it is now, because it's just going to get reshaped. Furthermore, if there's a corner, say this one here, right there, if I feel like it got a little cloudy because I pushed into it, you can always come back and do exactly what we're going to have to do later up here, and just make it a little deeper. So, pretty forgiving and pretty easy shape. And I just, I thought I'd stop and share this chisel with you. Thanks again so much for watching, and I hope this technique is helpful. It's definitely a strength in numbers technique. The pattern, it's not a simple one, but the technique, when we isolate it, is. And so I hope this encourages you to explore this kind of pattern. You could use this for scales or feathers. I mean, you name it. We just happened to make little spike balls this time. So take care, everyone. Stay safe out there.